Fella walks in the bathroom and a woman, she's sitting down. We don't know what you're doing. And you don't want to walk into that invisible wall, do you, fellas? Yeah. You know, like, hey, baby, oh! My mouth water a little bit. I'll be all right. Hang on. Hell, first year of our marriage, I didn't think my wife pooped. 21 years later, buddy, she learned how. Fellas, you remember that first year of marriage when your new bride would do laundry for the first time and you freaked out because you thought you might have dirty underwear, so you just threw them away? 21 years later, you just hoping to hear her scream,
"Oh my God. Did you hit a deer?"
That is my favorite joke. Only because I don't care what city I'm in. I do that joke, I see some woman do this. Of course, one of the products of a marriage is children. And I have two lovely children. I have a 17-year-old daughter that's fixing to graduate high school and go off to college. Dang. I tell you what, man, you want to talk about a slap in the face. That's when you walk on a college campus with your daughter and you catch some guy checking her out. Yeah. Then I realized it was a slap in the face. My wife caught me checking out college chicks. Sorry. I'm a guy. Where were those girls when I was in college? My friend goes, they were there. Hey, I got the yearbook, my friend. My college yearbook looks like the program from the Yukonuba Dog Show, all right? And not even the winners. You know? Just not ready for her to be so grown up, you know? God almighty, all these girls now, they're wearing these jeans that are cut down. God, one sneeze, the surprise is out. Just not ready for that, man. It's, you know, my wife and I were standing in the bathroom the other night talking. My daughter comes in and goes, "Hey, Mom,
Mom,
call
can I
your
shave
razor?"
you?
I'm like, "For what?" She goes, I want to
shave my legs.
And I go, "Why? Ain't nobody going to be touching them." Yeah, you think I'm joking. I want my daughter to have those big old monkey hair legs. You know what I'm talking about? That kind of hairy leg, when they pull the socks up, the hair sticks out of the sock. I'm just not ready for her to be so grown up, man. I'm still getting over just a few years ago when I was coming home from my son's baseball practice. My cell phone rings. My wife, she goes, "Hey, are you on your way home from practice?" I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Stop off at the
drugstore and pick your daughter up some pads."
I'm not in right now. If you'd leave your name, number...
Bill.
Please don't make me do this. She goes, I
can't get away. Just make sure they're narrow.
Wow, what is that? Narrow? Can't you use one of yours and fold it in half? So now I gotta take my son with me, who every 5 minutes is like, "What are we looking for, Dad?" I'm like, "A gun to kill myself." So I go to this drugstore, I walk into this woman who works there, who I don't know, and I said, "Hey, listen, do you have any, and if you don't, it's cool, any little girl, narrow pad?" The woman said, Are you her
father?
"No, princess, I'm on some kind of sicko scavenger hunt." I said, "Yes, I'm her dad." She was, "Honey, they're over
No, on
aisle
aisle
17.
17.
So I go to aisle 17. There are like 5,000 of these things, none of which say narrow. I'm on the phone with my wife and going, "Baby, please let me come home. No, listen to me, honey, there's no narrow. This one has butterflies on it. This one plays a little tune. Who finds them? My son. Who proceeds to scream out, here's a girl, girl, bad, better! Thank you, son. Listen, honey, I don't think they heard you in Scotland. I bought 2,600. She's just grown up on me, man. She's a woman. She's Scotch. She's smart. She took her SAT scores. Didn't take the pre-test. Stayed out till midnight the night before. 1390. Now, I tell you that for two reasons. One, to brag. And the other to tell you, she wants to retake the test. I go, what are you, stupid? If I'd have scored 1390 on my SAT scores, I'd have spray painted it on the side of my car. The SAT score right there, partner. I wish my SAT score had 4 digits in it that equal 13.
It does.
My son is 12 now and is really getting into girls. A lot. But the thing about 12-year-old boys is this. They don't possess what I like to call that discretionary gene yet. He and I were walking down the street going over the ball fields the other day, and there was a woman walking towards us who was gifted. And I saw him, and I saw him see him. But she was too close for me to go, dude, shut up. She hadn't walked 2 feet behind us, and he goes, God dang, you see the size of those things? And all I could say was, yeah, I did. We had to have the big talk this year. I was on the road. My wife called me. Said,
well, you need to have a talk with your son.
Which I find incredibly amusing, that when he's in trouble, I have sole ownership. And I said, what happened? She goes, well him and his friends were on the internet, and they pulled up one of them sex sites. I was like, oh, Lord. All right. I said, baby, did you write down the name of the site? Just for reference? She's like, shut up. And I knew this talk was coming, and I wanted my talk with my son to be a little more informative than my father's talk with me was. I don't know about the rest of you fellas. My dad and I didn't even have a talk till I finally cornered him one night. Said, Dad, when are you going to talk about sex? I'm 30. But I also know this, the kids there are a lot more informed than you and I were. And we were more informed than our parents, but what these kids know today is scary. So I sat him down and I said, look, son, we need to have a little talk about the birds and the bees. And I said, but I know that you and your buddies have already chatted about this, so why don't you do this? Why don't you tell me what you think you know, and I'll just fill in the blank spots. It seemed rational, till 30 minutes later. I'm sitting there with a pen and a pad of paper going, they'll do that? Just gotta ask, huh? Who knew? Now, if you've got a young man at your house around that age, you know this, that they think they know everything. And what happens when that world meets the world that's still naive, it can make for some of the funniest stuff you've ever seen in your life. And you've all had that. If you've got kids, you've had that moment where you've got blood in your mouth because you're biting your lip because you cannot laugh. And during our little chat, one of these moments arrived. We were having our little talk, and I said, you know, son, I said, when you finally meet this girl, whoever she is, and you fall in love and you think you might do it, I go, you got to swear to me right now that you will always use a condom. I said, because it prevents diseases, it prevents unwanted pregnancies. And he's kind of looking at me funny. I said, you know what a condom is, right? And he goes, yeah. I go, all right. I go, why don't you tell me so I know you know? And he goes, Dad. I go, come on. And he goes, oh. A condom is a rubber thing shaped like a wiener that hums.